Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Necropolis League 3.24. In this episode, I'm going to be going through my build upgrades. So first, to start it off, is actually this Timeless Jewel. And so a lot of people go, how does this work? So we have Caspiro, Timeless Jewel, Elegant Hubris. So it needs to be commemorate Caspiro because it'll be Supreme Ostentation. And you may be like, so how do you actually find a good one? What is a good one? So I have 80 minion damage on this node, which is Deep Wisdom, normally mana. It gets converted, and this is Pain Attunement. So this is Deep Wisdom, and this one's really good because of the way I do my tree. And then technically any of these three are a 3-pointer, so I could spend 3 points and get it. So it could be like 80 minion damage, 80 minion life. Look, spell suppress. And then you could even anoint these other ones that are farther, long, like takes more points, but one anoint. So there's a lot of options. And so this is just the one I went for. Obviously, a more ideal would be a point here for 3. Take it with my points and then anoint something. But anyway, I need to show the POB of how this actually works. So we have the POB. And then how I would do it is you would allocate this jewel socket, take Pain Attunement, take Deep Wisdom, and then you would just allocate all these nodes in the circle. And then you can do Find Timeless Jewel. And we do Elegant Hubris, Conquered, Supreme Ostentation, Pain Attunement, and this is one of the secrets, Filter Node, which means it's actually going to try to find those ones that we picked on our tree. That's why we made the tree like this. So then we could start it off with a primary node of Slumlord and a fallback node, and we could lower it, and we can make this Axiom. Axiom's the life, and the Slumlord's the damage. And then when you search, it'll give you a bunch, and you can actually, for example, like import and see how it has Deep Wisdom. So you could double click to import and you can actually look at it. So Deep Wisdom 80, 80, and then you could anoint this one. Disgusting. There's even armor. There was fire res. This is really good. But then you actually have to find it on trade. So this is where this thing comes in. So this is bugged right now. My recommendation is switch it to standard and then Necropolis, because if you just try to do it, it'll give you a search for standard. So then now it'll be Necropolis, and when you copy, it copies all 10 and searches them. So then I'll show you this. One sec. Add. There we go. Then when I go back, it loads it. So this is just the first page. And so it shows one div, actually. You could get these. And that's just the first few results. And then I can select the next. One sec. ADC, one div. So you can see there's a bunch of options, and then you can even copy them from trade. So then we'll go back. And it's to basically see which ones you're actually buying on trade. Because now this is the problem. Some of those trade ones are not the Deep Wisdom one. And that may be why they're available. So I just added them. This was the 149, 740. Yeah, see, Deep Wisdom doesn't have it, so it'd be a wasted notable. This is the free one, so we should definitely have that. And yeah, see, so the first result was useless anyways. And I'll go to that second one just for fun while we're doing the vid, because I already had the search up. Easy. And mana, and that was the 70,000 one. But this is pretty much how you would do it. I'd like to do it of like find the good ones, and then when they actually exist, check what they are. Yeah, because there's so many variations, and that's because of the number changes. But yeah, you can see they're all out there. They're not very good. So then back, that's just the Timeless Jewel, and so now back to the build. There we go. So yeah, mine, I just got the 80-80. 80 minion life is really good as well, because we only have 222. So 80 extra is a lot. And then, that Timeless Jewel, Supreme Ostentation, gives you the keystone that you can ignore attributes and you don't gain bonuses. So I don't need Strength and Dex now, and Int. So the first thing was I just swapped my gear immediately so that I didn't have the Dex and the Strength, and I could upgrade my Grace. I could actually level Grace. I'll mention one thing first. The auras. What happened is, ignore haste for a second, but I took out precision because we leveled up the zombies. We got all the minion levels through the helmet, the weapon, the old shield we had, and I took out precision so that I would have the mana to put grace after adding all the reservation with this. And I even had this at first, deep thoughts with the mana reservation from the league starter. I was able to take that out too, and we still have 66 mana. And then the extra aura, just because you're probably wondering, I added haste, guardian's blessing on the stone golem because I'm able to keep him alive, which I'll go into more detail how I was able to keep the stone golem alive with a level 8 guardian's blessing. Okay, so but first, yeah, so that's what I was saying. Don't worry, I don't actually reserve the haste, it's free. Okay, so yeah, we got the extra thing, dropped the precision, and we didn't need the attributes from the Supreme Ostentation now. It's really sick. So one thing I'm able to do is all my intelligence nodes on the tree, I converted them to tattoos of the Rongo Karai turtle because they added tattoos back. So we were able to get 95% crit damage reduction, extra damage reduction from the crits, yeah. Massive. So it doesn't stop like ignite being amplified by a crit, but it stops the actual hit damage. So it's huge. You're not crit like fully crit immune technically because of dot, but it's huge. It's really good, and we didn't need the int anyways. So then yeah, almost crit immune. I don't have an extra int node right now. Maybe when I level up, or if I path the tree a bit differently, and then. Yeah, I didn't need the strength dex, was able to change the tree because I didn't need the dex node, didn't need this dex node. I didn't want the enduring bond as much because, no, you have to keep using shit to keep the damage up, you know, and, Supreme Ostentation, then I was able to add the cluster jewel, so I crafted, a cluster jewel. I was looking for 50 plus basically in level. 68 would be good for this, and I just used pristine fossils to go for the 2 life mods, Feasting Fiend's Renewal, and I was able to also hit Primordial Bone, which is a life mod, so it's like super good to roll with a pristine, and I hit Lightning Res. I tried to slam, it was pretty expensive, and then I actually don't even take the Primordial Bond. We saved the 2 points. So it's a 5-point large, and then I added the mediums like normal with the Dread March Renewal, and these I just bought because they were so cheap, like 5C or something. I could have rolled them with Aberrant Fossils, but it would have been like 1 to 2C per try. It wasn't worth it. I'll roll these later when I'm going for like really good ones with, so the suffixes being higher tier requires a higher item level. It was like 84, but I'm not worried about that right now. See how you can get T2 with only a 77? That's pretty good. And like T2 with a 74? That's pretty good. Okay, settling, you know? But then we were able to, so I said able to change the gear as well, and then you're even able to use gear that has like ridiculous requirements, like 138 dex on the helmet. It was like 180 strength, 191 strength on the chest. Just like ridiculously high requirement gear. Even we could run the convoking ones with 242 int, and we don't have that much int anymore. It's really sick. I like having tattoos back. This is great. They're kind of expensive right now until the patch when they give us more packs and buff the league mechanic, so that's going to be huge. But so then now we go into it. So I got a boot, and main things, you can do all of this differently. It doesn't have to be the exact way I do it, but basically I did res boot with move speed, and I crafted life. You could have also done chaos res. So now we don't need attributes on the gear. So it makes we could make like mage blood gear, you know. And then you have this res, lot of armor. This thing had 535 armor and open prefix, so I could craft minion damage. It was a really disgusting glove, and obviously strength was useless here, but it was so good otherwise. And then I did the implicits. So some of these implicits, I've done them to what I want, but some of them I just didn't want to spend very much, and you could see I used lesser. I wasn't trying to spend very much on them. But yeah, glove was just reses. And the main way I do it was chaos on the glove, because where the boot you prioritize move speed, so you already have a mod you have to get, so it kind of makes it annoying. The glove, you don't look at it and go, I need this mod. Well, technically, like life's always a thing you would need or want, but of like actual I need this, so chaos res is really sick through the glove, since I actually got chaos res through the shield too, because I already fit the hungry loop, so I can go the animate guardian. So I, having to make up an entire ring slot was pretty huge, but glove was really nice for that. And then I even crafted the chest with a deafening essence of envy, and I was able to just hit random stuff like regen, lightning res, armor. I wasn't, obviously all of that was random, and I was like, whoa, 2k armor with extra res, and because of the regen, again, I can't use the stupid life mastery, because life is so easy to hit on the chest plate. There's like 3 life mods, and so I just crafted life. And then percent life with the percent mana is actually nice, so I have the mana. Otherwise, I might need to spend some extra into this node, which wouldn't feel that bad. Or I could take Eldritch Battery if I had an ES space, but none of these were ES, so I don't have any extra energy shield, so I can't really use Eldritch Battery here. We're making a trade. Yeah, chest, I used a Deafening Essence of Envy, guaranteed that T1 Chaos, and then I hit random stuff. And so you could almost craft, I had that on my mind. You could craft that first so that you see what you get, and then you can build the other stuff around it, like get your 6 link with the Deafening Essence of Envy Chaos Craft done first, and then maybe fill out the rest with the glove and the boot. And then the helmet also is one of those where it's actually hard to get like a nice one, because you have to get the +2 minion all skill gems, and that's 25 waiting. So then you want life, and then we want reses. So hitting chaos res with the +2 is really difficult, where hitting normal reses is much easier. They have 1,000 waiting compared to like 250. So that's why I didn't go for the chaos on the helmet, and I tried to get it through the other sources that I thought was easier. Technically, the boot is easier as well. Like, in theory, I could replace the shield by getting the chaos res on the boot, and then just getting more res. I also did the chaos res through the belt. I crafted this myself. Made, I basically bought like 7 Stygian Vices. They were item level 85, and I just used 1 Deafening Essence of Envy on each one, and I've been trying to sell them. I'll lower the prices. Maybe now showing them, you guys will do the same, and I won't make any money, but you know what it is what it is. This is what I actually crafted though out of all those tries. So 6 tries, I got some life, mana, armor, and then the T1 Chaos, Flask of Hectoration, and crafted Fire and Lightning. So through all this gear, the chaos res, the res, we were able to keep our reses pretty good. We had 18k armor through the 2k armor chest, the 1700 armor shield. So this shield, I bought it. I gave up the +1 because a +1 shield was like 30c just for the single mod, and a fractured version was 4 divs. So I was like, well, this is stupid. So trying to buy a shield, a minion shield, with the +1 and extra mods was so stupidly expensive. It was so bad. So I just bought this for super cheap. Like, imagine me spending like 20c and getting, like I said, an 1800 armor shield with 100 life, 6 fizz, damage reduction, T1 chaos, block. The block obviously, but it's not bad. Especially when like an enemy can't be evaded, then you block them instead. Pretty good. But then we got this, and we click the buttons. 30k armor, 15k evasion rating. And then, like I said, now we got basically crit immune, except for ignite and bleeds, I think. And then the zombies up to 28. And I also replaced the void manipulation in the build with withering touch across the build. Because I wanted more sources of withered, because it only lasts 2 seconds, and you have to stack it up to 15. So basically, when you have 25% chance, you have to hit an enemy 60 times in 2 seconds to get all the wither on average. Obviously, that's if you don't get unlucky, you can get unlucky. So then now we have technically 50% chance on each minion. So they only have to hit 30 times in 2 seconds. That's way better if you think about it. Like, if the ascendancy was 50, 75, 100, yeah, you'd love it. Less hits, because think of all the hits where it's not buffed and you have to ramp it up, and then you actually have to have enough attack speed or cast speed or chance. So it's been really nice, and you really feel it when you stack them up on the single targets, and it makes it easier to stack up faster. And then it's still good extra damage from the fizz as extra chaos. Yeah, but yeah, stack. Oh, and then withered is 6% increased chaos damage per, up to 90% increased chaos damage taken. So this is more than the demon harpy, because the demon harpy was only 50, and the demon harpy wasn't consistent. So this buff is huge for our chaos build, and so I replaced all. And then it actually makes it so when they behead, and they steal a rare mod, and then they get conversions or like fizzes extra, whatever, they do LE damage. Now they're not deleting it through the void manipulation also. And then if I go like inspire learning, a headhunter, whatever, then my minions will be able to make better use of it, I believe, potentially. And then we could also do LE. So this is where I have some jewels with LE damage. It's not the main priority, but they technically do have some LE damage, so it's worth something. And then these were like poison, chance to poison life, chance to poison life. I had hit a minion chaos res one. This was taunt blind. I ended up, you may notice I'm not running a shield now. I have a shield, but I'm not running shield charge. It's so I could fit the haste and guardian's blessing. It's the exact colors too. And haste free. The stone golem lives. So first I'll talk about how the stone golem survives it. So the guardian's blessing is 10.3% of his life and energy shield as fizz damage per second. Oh my god. They nerfed my Guardian's Blessing with the Ascendancy change, so he takes more damage, so I can't have my Guardian's Blessing as high of a level. And he basically can't have any energy shield because he's constantly taking damage. Got it. Okay, so then I wanted to run phasing while affected by haste. Watcher's Eye cost me a div. They're like cheaper now, 120C, 1 div, but basically I was tired of getting stuck and not being able to loot and play the game. It's so bad. I can't play without phasing, so I added phasing. So I added the haste, so I added the Guardian's Blessing, so then the Stone Golem to keep him alive while I still have the regen on the tree, the 4% plus this, 5%. He has the Leech from the Feasting Fiends, which, oh, when I take Feasting Fiends Renewal through this large cluster, I take off the Mastery. We don't have the 1% Leech, we have the 0.4 now. And then, phasing Watcher's Eye, 2 Dread Marches, plus the tree, so the 18%, sorry, the 23% Fizz damage reduction, and the 20% here, so 43% physical damage reduction, so reducing that degen from this, because it's physical damage, so we gave him physical damage reduction to help. Armor doesn't help. And then the levels, obviously, and health, but it's mostly the regen and the physical damage reduction to give him mitigation and more regen. 3% extra, so he's like 8% regen. and he's able to sustain it. When he takes damage, when he's getting hit by enemies, his health does get chunked, and I might have to lower this even more, or I might have to get more recovery or more damage, but for now, this is what I've done. And then, this is still the same. I kept the jade jade flask, and everything else is the same. Oh yeah, part of the precision taking out was this minion accuracy. You want a jewel probably with like minion accuracy rating, minion damage, and minion ele res. You don't have to get the minion elemental res if you have a nice ring, but it would be good, and I'd still probably like it. It was also that this one had the dex and the int that I actually needed before, but now I don't need it because of the Supreme Ostentation. This is really sick. And then obviously I also still have some attribute nodes I can convert. I just have to go through it again, and they are kind of expensive because the league mechanic, the way we get them is we were doing these Embers of Nagamahu Karui tattoos, and so they're gonna buff how many we drop of these things, the all flames, and we're also going to get, like, it's gonna be, they're buffing the league mechanic all around. So yeah, we'll see how much the tattoos go down, how much more they're available, and also we'll see what new packs they add. Also, the storage is tiny, but I realize now when you actually are using them, you can use like 6 a map. When there's 6 packs, 6 different packs, you can convert, so you could use 6 all flames in a single map, which is quite a lot of micromanagement, and that's just the packs converting, not counting the mods as well. So it's kind of crazy, but yeah, quite a lot of changes, a lot of upgrades obviously still to make, but build has been coming along. I like what I did. There's only like one thing is like maybe don't need the shield, so you could just run another scepter if you want, have another +2 instead of the shield if you can make it work, and then you have more damage. But the shield's really nice because of the big fat armor and the chaos res and the life and the fizz damage reduction. So there's that. But that's my build update. Lots of stuff. Still using the monkeys. Zombie 6 thing. Skellies might get cut soon because mana 35. I only have 66. It's really annoying, but Val Skelly's still nice. But and they can die and they feed soul eaters, so I'm like meh. But there's so many Skellies and they add quite a lot of damage, so yeah, there's that. Oh, and they don't last as long because I took out the enduring bond, so they're not even, but then they don't even survive either. So it's like, holy shit, man. Like when you actually do some hard stuff. So probably gonna be saving some more gem sockets soon. Oh, sorry, I forgot this. I was leveling an Animate Guardian, my offhand failed the corrupt, but making a hungry loop. So I had put Feeding Frenzy and Minion Life in it already. So what I do is offhand, I haven't made the Animate Guardian and I haven't made the gear. You could look at old videos for that. I haven't done the new one yet. So Void Manipulation and Withering Touch with Minion Life and Feeding Frenzy. So what I do is I level them up in my offhand, and when they reach 20, you see how these are like skipped? You do that right click and then it shows up down here instead of, and then it doesn't show up over here anymore. So I do that, I skip it, and then I take the gem out and I put it in, and then I click the plus inside and it gets consumed. So there's your tip for making the hungry loop. And apparently you can use a corrupted white socket and it still works for consuming. So that's really cool. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you guys are enjoying the Necropolis League. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in today's stream. Hopefully the new patch comes today. Bye.